Hello viewers, today we are going to see about a solenoid acting as a bar magnet. Basically the properties of bar magnet equivalently holds for solenoid also. So in the previous videos we have seen about a conductor, a circular conductor where I is the current flowing in that conductor. And we are interested in the magnetic field at a distant point. So we had a conductor, circular conductor. R is the radius of that coil. IDL is the current element, and I is the current flowing in the coil. So this is now we are interested in the magnetic flux density at the distant point. Okay. So we got the final relation as magnetic field density is equal to mu naught I R square divided by 2 into x square plus r square whole power 3 by 2 in the direction of I vector. That means it is acting along this direction. So same concept, same principle is being employed in solenoid also. So here we have the length of the solenoid is 2L and this is the midpoint O. So this length will be L. The distance from O to the point of interest P, where we want to find the magnetic flux density, is R. The radius of the solenoid is A, and the distance of the coils, that means we have wounded some few turns, n turns, at a distance x from the origin, and this distance of the coil, the width of the coil is dx, and it has n number of turns. This is the basic construction. So this solenoid we have already saw that more than 98% of the magnetic flux density concentrates inside the coil. So therefore we can view a solenoid as equivalently to a bar magnet. Okay. Now so if you have a bar magnet with a constant magnetic field density B or magnetic field, so the magnetic needle tries to deflect and produces an angle theta. Same thing happens with this solenoid also. Okay. So we make use of this formula for deriving our result. So here if you see, we are interested the magnetic field density at this point, so dV. First we will work with this small distance, later on we will integrate so that we will get from this point to this point. So we start from this point is small dx, therefore small distance, n number of turn, this width is very small. So therefore magnetic field produced also is very small. So dV, we have mu naught I R square. So mu naught I, their radius is R, here radius is A. That is radius of the solenoid is A. So A square, now n dx. There we deal with one turn, but here we deal with n number of turns, and the width, this width is dx. Okay. And then in the denominator 2, this R square is nothing but our A squared here. And the distance is there is x from our center to here it is x. Now if you see here from here to here it is r, and this distance is x. So therefore r minus x. So r minus x the whole square, because we have x square. Here the distance is r minus x. We are dealing from this point to this point. So this distance is r, this distance is x. So therefore r minus x. So r minus x the whole square plus a square whole power 3 by 2. Okay, so that's how we got this magnetic flux density, a small magnetic flux density because of this very few turns. Okay, now mu naught n I a square by 2, all these terms are constant. So we integrate from minus L to plus L. That means this is minus L, this is plus L. Therefore total length will be 2L. Okay, so we do the integration so that we get for the entire solenoid, length of the solenoid. Now we have dx divided by r minus x the whole square plus a square whole power 3 by 2. So this is the lower limit and this is the upper limit. Now we assume two cases, that is the length, the point of interest, that is r is very far compared to A. Okay, where A is the radius of the solenoid, and other cases r is very much greater than the length of the solenoid. So if this is true, most of the cases it should be true, because this compared to the distant point of observation, So R will be very much greater than A, and R will be very much greater than the solenoid, length of the solenoid itself. In that case, what will happen? So R is very much greater than A, and R is very much greater than L. Therefore, what we have is this, you will get R square. Okay, so R square, because R is very much greater than A, this X is negligible because it is very close here. So R square, this is A square is negligible. So what happens is R square power 3 by 2, 2 gets cancelled, and we have R cube. So this R cube is in the denominator, that is taken outside. So we will get R cube outside. So finally we have only integration with respect to dx. Integration of dx is x, and the upper limit is L, lower limit is minus L. Upper limit minus lower limit, L minus L. So you will get 2L. So mu naught Ni by 2, R cube is there, A square is there. Integration of dx with upper limit L and lower limit minus L is 2L. So we have substituted here. Now this is the final answer for the magnetic field density at this point, or magnetic field at the point P, based on the condition R is very much greater than A and R is very much greater than L. Now we introduce a new term, magnetic moment. So magnetic moment, you know, that is current into area. So current into area is pi A square. A is the radius, so area of the cross section of the solenoid. So I into pi A square. N is a constant number of turns, and this is length of the solenoid, that is also constant, N into 2L. So that's how we define magnetic moment M. So if you substitute N, 2L, I, pi A square here, you will get the value this. That means this is the standard result. Okay, we express this in terms of magnetic moment, that is, it will be easier to remember, mu naught by 4 pi 2m divided by r cube. So now if you carefully look into this formula, the magnetic field density or magnetic field at a distant point P, based on the condition R very much greater than A and R very much greater than L. So this, we arrived at this result. But magnetic field density depends on N, number of turns. This increases, magnetic field increases, I increases, magnetic flux density increases, L, length of the solenoid increases, 2L increases, then magnetic field increases, then A squared, A is the radius, the radius square. So A increases, then also it will increases. The magnetic field will decrease, it is inversely proportional to R cube. So this is R is the distance from the origin to the P, inversely proportional to 1 by R cube. So if you want a stronger magnetic field, it has to be very close to the solenoid, then you will experience a very strong magnetic field. Okay, so that's all about this topic on solenoid, which can be viewed as a bar magnet. Actually, we try to express the properties of a bar magnet with the help of the solenoid relations. So whatever we got here, it is equivalently applicable for a bar magnet. Okay, so we can view a solenoid as a bar magnet with almost all the properties are 99%, it is equivalent to a bar magnet. And finally we got magnetic flux density in terms of magnetic moment. So if you want to say in terms of magnetic moment, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi is constant. So magnetic flux density directly depends on magnetic moment, and we have the magnetic moment formula here, where magnetic moment is equal to N2L I pi A square and inversely proportional to R cube. So that's all about this topic about viewing a solenoid equivalent to a bar magnet and vice versa. Hope you have understood this topic. Thanks for watching. Nandri.